Mr. North.
Hey guys, this is North back again with another video. Today's video I'm coming to you with another weekly fragrance rotation video. I haven't done one of these in a while. I haven't really been tracking what I wear day to day throughout the week. I usually do that during my work weeks. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. This past week I remembered, so let's go ahead and get it going. Now my work week is from Sunday to Thursday, so it'll be actually the fragrance I wore Sunday through Friday. And on Sunday I went with the house of Balenciaga, and this one is the discontinued Balenciaga Pour Homme. This was one I just wanted to get because it's been discontinued for a long time, and it's one of these coveted 80s powerhouses, even though I believe this was released in 1990. But it's one of those fragrances that are coming off the tail end of the 80s. And this is a spicy fragrance. I was lucky enough to get a 50 ml. My buddy actually gifted this to me, so shout out to him. Again, Balenciaga Pour Homme was released in 1990. This one says it has notes of cinnamon, coriander, bergamot, patchouli, cedar, oak moss, honey are some of the notes. And this one, again, like I said, is a very spicy fragrance. It does have some patchouli notes to it and some honey to it. It's not very animalic. There are no listed like animalic type notes in it. But it's one that this is my very first time actually wearing it. I do have still the box. I've been in the habit of keeping boxes on it, so I'd have to wear it more to have some type of assessment on it, but that's what I wore on Sunday. On Monday, I went with the house of Goutal, now known as Goutal Paris. This is another discontinued fragrance and another one that I actually got from my buddy who gave me Balenciaga Pour Homme, but I didn't get this one for free. It's the one I was hunting down for a long time after Rich Mitch had raved about it. And this one is called Myrrhe Ardente. This is one I just absolutely had to have. And after I bought it, a couple popped up even more recently in the feminine bottle. But as you know, I really love my resins, especially myrrh and frankincense. Burning the actual resin, I do prefer frankincense more than I prefer myrrh. But in the fragrance, this one has a little bit more mystique to it. But this one, Myrrhe Ardente, was released in 2007. This one has notes of myrrh, benzoin, tonka bean, gaiac wood, vetiver, and beeswax. So every single note listed in this fragrance is, for me, a must-have. You know, I have to get a fragrance that has these type of notes. This one has more of a authentic myrrh note to it and myrrh feel to it, along with the tonka bean and the beeswax, than something like a Myrrhe Imperial. So I enjoy this one. This one's a little bit drier. It's a little bit more of a serious sort of myrrh-centered fragrance. And it's one I still have to get to know a little bit more, but that's what I wore on Monday. On Tuesday, I went with the house of Stéphane Humbert Lucas. This is a fragrance I haven't worn in a while, and this one is called Oumma. Oumma. It's hard to show it in the light with this plaque on there, but this is one of the first fragrances that I purchased that was very expensive. I think when I got this, it was around like $315 for a 50 ml. I was checking recently on the level of the juice. It's about halfway through, which I was surprised about, you know. And but I still love this fragrance. It was released in 2013. And the notes in this one are rose, tolu balsam, peru balsam, oud, and cypriol. Also cade oil. People that talk about this being like a rose oud fragrance. I would not classify this as that, just because it doesn't have this typical rose oud feel. I've done a review on it, and to me this smells like authentic Bakur, but specifically one called Mahmoud Bakur, which has like this powderiness to it. And when I very first smelled this, I just had to have it, because whenever I had smelled Mahmoud Bakur, I had wished that they had made it into a perfume, and this is a perfect example of that. So that's what I wore on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I went with the house re-release of a cult classic discontinued fragrance. It is still a Selfridges exclusive, in the United Kingdom, and this one is Absolue pour le Soir. This is the 2024 edition. This one I would not pay the exorbitant prices that people are charging for it now, or at least prior to this being released. So I picked up on it when it very first was released. So again, it's a 2024 edition. This one has notes of cumin, honey, labdanum, rose, amber, and vanilla. So it's supposed to be like an animalic honey type of scent. I really do like this one. People are saying that the cumin note in it is toned down, so the animalicness of it has been toned down. I've never smelled the original, but this was one I was definitely happy I picked up. It was a successful blind buy, and so that's what I wore on Wednesday. On Thursday, I went with another powerhouse fragrance, but this one actually is from the 80s. It was released in 1981, and this one is Kouros by Yves Saint Laurent. This was one I was trying to find like the oldest bottle that I could find, actually that I could like buy locally. So I went through a bunch of shops just looking for them. And if you look at the boxes have different designs. This one has like silver around the trim, which makes this older than like the current formulation of it. There's so many different boxes. So this is the oldest one that I could actually find, and I got it from one of the guys that I know locally. I didn't find it in the shop. So this is a 2013 edition of Kouros. And now this one, I wore this one because I really had never worn this one either. But since I wore Balenciaga pour Homme, I wanted to wear like another classic. This one has aldehydes, clary sage, bergamot, patchouli, civet, musk, honey, and vanilla. There's some of the notes. And this is one of those animalic scents that were quite popular during their time, and obviously it has a very, very huge cult following. So many people own like multiple different variations of the bottle. I did enjoy wearing it at the time, but I didn't grow up on it, so it wasn't like an immediate like this is one of my favorite fragrances, but I do like the scent, so it definitely will be staying in my collection. Let's move on to the last one. And on Friday, I went with the house of Elixir Attar, and this is my latest fragrance that I got from this line. Still need to do the house overview of the ones that I actually have from the house, but still getting to know them. And this one is called Taifi Classique. So the press release on this one says that they tried to do a French version of a Taifi rose fragrance. This one doesn't have oud in it. So the notes on this one are geranium, rose, clove, Taifi rose, tolu balsam, vanilla, white ambergris. So it has deer musk and white ambergris in it. And this one is also a beautiful scent. For me, it smells a lot better once it starts to dry down. The opening is a little harsh. It's not very animalic, but it smooths out really, really well. It turns almost kind of powdery with the deer musk and the ambergris in it. I do like it. This is only a 15 ml bottle, but what I did with it was I did layer it with this Taifi rose from Abdul Samad Al Qureshi. This is a 10 ml, so this is almost a tola of a pretty high grade Taifi rose oil from Abdul Samad Al Qureshi. I forget the name of it. They all have different little names, but they're like the prices on them are significantly priced different, because the higher the price, the more petals that they use to extract the oil, and you can actually smell the difference in the different qualities. So I wore the Taifi rose with the Taifi Classique, which was good. Now I'll try to come back and talk about this a little bit later, because this rose oil is not cheap, but that's what I wore throughout the week. I'll try to come back with you with other fragrance rotation videos as I have the opportunity and as I log what I have, but that's what I wore this week. And it's cooled off a little bit, but it's still hot. I work in an air-conditioned environment, so I wanted to try to wear some of the more cooler weather fragrances than the citruses, because that's just what I'm in the mood for right now, and I have been since like the summer, so that's why I've been picking up some new things. So that's what I wore. Please let me know in the comments what you wore this week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.